Welcome to this tutorial. We are going to talk about a research project, how you're supposed to write a research project, and how you're supposed to go step by step. That is from how you're supposed to formulate your objectives, your research questions that will guide you all along in your research, how you're supposed to develop your hypothesis, how you're supposed to even design the research methodology, uh, create also a timeline. It is also very important to create a timeline for your research project because that is important. So also the data collection, how you're supposed to analyze your data is also very important. How you're supposed to discuss your findings or maybe present your findings. What is the conclusion of your findings? What are the recommendations? And how you're supposed to write the abstract for your project, and also how you're supposed to reference your work. And also for the last part, that is appendices, how you're supposed to maybe present the questionnaires that you used in the research writing. So from the introduction, the foundation of any research project lies in a carefully chosen topic that not only captures the researcher's interests, but also aligns with the broader context of the field of study. This introduction serves to provide background information, introduce the chosen topic, and articulate the research problem that the study aims to address. So, on the literature review, that is the second part, you can see my cursor. So a critical examination of existing literature is essential for understanding the current state of knowledge on the selected topic. This literature review helps identify gaps in understanding and lays the groundwork for formulating specific research questions that contribute meaningfully to the existing body of knowledge. So after you do you think about the literature review, then it is also very important to define your objectives and your research questions. You must note that your objectives uh, will guide you throughout your research project, because whatever is highlighted as your objectives, that is exactly what you are supposed to be researching on, your specific objectives. So clear articulation of research objectives follows, accompanied by a well-defined research questions. These questions are designed to target the identified gaps in the literature, forming the basis for the subsequent stages of the research project. Also, how are you supposed to develop a hypothesis? We can say hypothesis is just an assumption. In cases where applicable, a hypothesis is formulated based on research questions. This hypothesis acts as a testable statement, guiding the research process toward proving or disproving a specific conjecture. So then how are you supposed to design your research methodology? How are you going to collect your data? This is the question. You can see my cursor. How are you going to design your research methodology, or rather, how are you going to collect your data? The research design is meticulously outlined in this section, encompassing the type of study, whether it is qualitative, quantitative, or a combination of both. The chosen data collection method and the specific data analysis techniques to be employed in this. A justification for these choices is provided to enhance the credibility of the research methodology. So here you talk about how you're going, the methods you are going to use to collect your data that you're going to analyze later on in the data analysis section. So then it is also very important to create a timeline for your project. Like I said in the introduction, project management becomes a very focal point with the development of a comprehensive timeline. This tool aids in effectively managing the various stages of the research project, ensuring timely completion. Because let's say you're given 5 months, then you're expected by your supervisor or maybe the person who is mentoring you in the research is expecting you to submit within a given timeline. So you should work around that. So then on data collection, you remember for each and every research, there is that data that you're going to analyze so that you come up with the findings. So on data collection, the outlined research design is put into action as data collection commences. Depending on the nature of the study, this phase may involve experiments, also surveys, interviews, or other methods chosen during the methodology development. You can also use questionnaires in this. Most cases, questionnaires are used alongside interviews. They go hand in hand. So then again, how you analyze your data. The data analysis part is usually very important. Collected data then undergoes rigorous analysis utilizing the predetermined statistical or qualitative methods. The results are then interpreted within the context of the research questions, offering insights into the broader implications of the findings. So, after that, then it is important to discuss your findings. So, the discussion section delves into the significance of the findings, comparing them with the existing literature, and addressing any limitations encountered during the research process. This stage is crucial, very important for drawing meaningful conclusions based on the data analysis. So on the conclusion part, then after doing your discussing your findings from the data analyzed, then the conclusion is very, very important. What do you make of the findings that you have? So the conclusion synthesizes the key findings and their implications, reiterating the importance of the research. This section may also propose recommendations for future research or practical applications based on the study's outcomes or maybe the outcome, providing closure to the research narrative. So then after you are through with the conclusion, then what are your recommendations based on the findings? What would you recommend? If applicable, recommendations for future research or practical applications are provided based on the findings, like I said. So then the abstract part also is very important. The abstract part is very important. Now, the where you're supposed to place your abstract, now that is dependent on maybe the guidelines that you have been given. There are those who will consider maybe you do the abstract at the beginning of the research project. There are those who prefer that you do the abstract after you drew with the as it should come as the last writer. So a concise abstract is crafted to summarize the entire research project. That is the intention of writing the abstract, offering a quick overview of the topic, methods, results, and conclusion, such that if a person was to come and maybe look at the overview of the project from the abstract, they can be able to tell what you are doing, the methods you're using, the results, and the conclusions, or maybe what are your objectives. You can be able to derive that from the abstract. So it is very important. It captures all that, and it should be, well, a very good abstract should be between 280 words to 350, a maximum of 350. Very brief, but it should be able to capture all the details of the project, like methods, results, conclusions, the method used for data collection, like I said, yes. So also the formatting, the numbering of the project. Sometimes you find that in some pages you're supposed to number them in Roman numbers, maybe dependent on the guideline, how you're supposed to present them. So the research project is formatted according to institutional guidelines. Like I said, and a thorough proofreading is conducted to ensure accuracy in grammar, spelling, and formatting. That is also very, very important. Then the referencing part is very important. Where did you uh, collect all the thoughts that you have brought into your research projects? What style have you used in doing your referencing? What are the citing? How do you cite your sources used in the research project? All sources used in the research project are cited following a specific citation style, maybe APA style, MLA, Chicago, etc. That is all dependent on the guidelines. So then we have the appendices. The appendices, this one, if necessary, then supplementary materials such as questionnaires, interview transcripts, or additional data are included in the appendices as needed. You can also include your data collection letter in this from your institution. You can also include appendices, can also include work plan for your research. You can also include your budget in this section if needed, and that is all dependent with the guidelines. So thank you very much. See you in the next video, and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you.